I'll know the man who opened fire in a San Bernardino classroom fired 10 shots in that rampage that killed his estranged wife and an 8-year-old boy. In the past few minutes, police had a news conference. They did release some more details. We want to get right to our Jasmine Viel because she is live in San Bernardino with what we just learned about this man, Cedric Anderson, and what might have led to that shooting. Jasmine?
Yeah, Sandra, a lot of information coming in from police just a few minutes ago, learning much more about the victims, the gunman, and what might have led up to this deadly shooting that left a beloved teacher and mother dead and one of her students. Police saying that the couple had just separated last month, and she had only told close family and friends about his odd behavior. The district also saying that they had no warning anything was wrong.
Everyone's heart's broken.
Monica Samaro and her 7-year-old son Matthew stopped by the growing memorial outside North Park Elementary to leave Legos in memory of the 8-year-old boy killed here yesterday. Jonathan Martinez was struck by one of the bullets meant for his teacher. Samaro, who did not want to show her face on camera, says her son goes to a nearby elementary, but this has hit too close to home.
I came because last night when going to bed, I couldn't help but think about the mom, how, she had to go home, get in bed, and she's never going to get her little boy back.
Confirming you're aware of the possible active shooter at North Park Elementary.
It was just before 10:30 yesterday morning when police say Cedric Anderson checked in as a visitor at the front office.
He tried another door first, and that door was locked, and the only door that he was able to go through is the one door that leads into the office.
He then walked into his estranged wife's special needs classroom, pulled out a gun, and opened fire, killing Karen Elaine Smith. Police say there were allegations of infidelity. They say he did not leave a suicide note, but another kind of rant.
It was a regular 8x10 piece of paper with handwriting that said something to the effect of things that required attention, and it made reference to the relationship and fixing things, and then it also made reference to feeling dishonored and that moving forward with no regrets or something of that nature.
Police say Anderson reloaded and shot himself in front of 15 first through fourth graders in the room.
It's going to be chaos for those little ones that witnessed everything yesterday. I don't know how they're going to handle it.
A community that is coming together once again in the face of such tragedy.
We're not strangers to dealing with a very, very busy police environment. I'm proud of the men and women of this organization. They partnered up with our partners from the Sheriff's Department, the Highway Patrol, and school police, and they went in there with a mission to restore that scene back to some semblance of calm.
Anderson was unemployed and he had a criminal history, although police saying that he was never convicted. As for the gun he used, police are saying that it was last sold, or it was sold in 1979, but they haven't been able to track the owner since then, that it was sold out of state, right? And also adding that there was a candlelight vigil being held at the school at 7 o'clock.
All right, Jasmine, thanks so much. Also today, counselors are available to help students, families, and staff of North Park Elementary deal with this tragedy. KCAL 9's Cara Finnstrom is live at Del Vallejo Middle School, where people can get help. Cara?
Juan, so many North Park families are struggling today. Some have come here to talk with those counselors. Others are grieving in private. The family of Jonathan Martinez is struggling with an unbearable loss. His cousins shared these pictures of an 8-year-old whose life they called a miracle. Jonathan nearly died from health problems a few years ago, but fought back. Yesterday, his life was cut tragically short by a gunman on a rampage. The violence also scarred the survivors.
I just didn't want to die.
10-year-old Christian Flores and his father are getting help from counselors today. Yesterday, as the chaos unfolded, Christian stood next to his classmates for hours.
They were crying and saying, I don't want to die.
Frank Flores choked back tears as he described the moment he realized a shooter was on campus.
I just got in the car, but it was really hard. It's even hard to talk to you about it right now because, I relived that emotion of not being able to get to my son.
Today, volunteers brought in stuffed superheroes to give Christian and his classmates a little extra support.
And I was a school nurse, and so, I knew that what was going on out there yesterday. And so we sort of went into action.
Therapy dogs are here for them too.
They are a bridge, so they snuggle with the children if the children choose to snuggle with them.
Frank Flores is worried his son may suffer emotional scars, but he says the overwhelming emotion he feels right now is gratitude. Christian slept between him and his wife last night, and Frank says he can't stop hugging and kissing his son.
The worst day of me and my wife's life, and then also the best day when we could hug him again, because you never know until you can actually hold him in your arms, you know, how things really are.
And one other development out of that news conference this morning, Juan and Sandra, the family of Jonathan Martinez, wanted to share, they did it through police, that he was born with something called Williams syndrome. That's a very rare genetic condition. Children who have it have a number of medical problems, but at the same time, they're highly social and have very amazing verbal capabilities. His family says he was well loved, is going to be missed. Juan and Sandra, they called him their little angel.
And as you said, Cara, he overcame so much. Thank you so much for that. From the investigation to the latest on the victims, stay with KCAL 9 News for continuing coverage of the school shooting in San Bernardino. You can get updates anytime at our website, kcal9.com.